Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Dash, a bit weird.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, April 10th. Yes. And this is episode 33? Yay, I got it. It's written over there, that way. I was trying to remember without looking, though. We would like to say a big hello to new viewers who are joining us today. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you like us and will stick around. And welcome back to all our returning viewers. We love you and we're so thankful for you and that you continue to come watch us week after week. We would like to give a shout out to Crouching Cheese, who is Angie from Madison, Ohio. She introduced herself on our introductions thread in our Ravelry group, and so a big hello to you. If you have not joined our Ravelry group, please come and do that and introduce yourself and we'll give you a shout out. Or if you're already a member of the group and haven't introduced yourself previously, do so and we will say hello on our next episode. We have a lot to talk about today, so I think we'd better get started.
Now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
Yes, what's on your needles, Damaris?
If you've watched before, you know that I have been waiting for yarn to knit a sweater and finally got it, even though it's not really the right yarn, but it'll do. And
I think it looks really good. I like it. I'm trying to bring up a picture of what she's knitting.
And I started on this sweater last week, and I started on a sleeve. This is how far I've gotten on it.
That looks really good.
And
that's the chevron. Okay, so here, oh, that you can't really see that. Let's go from this side maybe. It's hard to see. That's the sweater that she's knitting. It's on her project page, so we'll link it in the show notes. It is called
Dr. Watson's Cabled Crewneck.
Right. But it's not completely a pattern. It's kind of more of a recipe type thing. And what yarn are you using?
It's Barocco Vintage, and I forget the number, but it's called Oats.
Now comes the needle issue. If you're on Plurk, you already heard about this a little bit. So she ended up using a smaller needle than we thought because it was just going to be way too big for her. So she went down to a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. So she's knitting away last night and says, "Mama, look at this." And these Chowgu needles snapped at the join between the cable and the needle. This is the second pair of needles, Chowgus, that we've had to do this. The other ones were a size like 6 maybe.
I don't know.
Wasn't it when I was working on my All the Shades of Truth?
I don't know.
I think so. Anyway, this is the second set we've had snap like this.
So now I can't knit until Saturday when we go out and do stuff.
So I am waiting to hear back from our local yarn shop owner whether we can exchange them or if I need to contact Chowgu. But this makes me very unhappy because I'm generally pleased with Chowgus. I like how they knit up. They're a good needle, other than this issue that we have with them snapping. And on Plurk, I found out I'm not the only one that this has happened to. This has me seriously considering investing in an interchangeable set of needles. So, I had a few suggestions on Plurk last night. This was late last night when I posted it. But if you have suggestions on brands of interchangeable needles, would you let me know, like in the Ravelry thread or on our webpage or Plurk or whatever? Because I'm looking into that, because this is just really frustrating that this keeps happening. I had been trying to as we needed them by Chagu or Haya Haya. Those are the two that we use mostly, because I think we both prefer metal over wood. We do have some wood needles, but if this is going to keep happening, and especially with us moving to Scotland, I don't know about being able to exchange them if it happens again. So, if you have suggestions on interchangeable needles, let me know. I suggested maybe she cast on a preemie hat while we wait for needles. So, we'll see. But I think you're doing a great job. I really like how it looks.
Yeah, I was able to finish the first repeat before it snapped.
Yes.
And I don't know how many more repeats. You have to knit the sleeve to, it's in the pattern it says to a total length of about 19 inches, but I don't know because I don't know how long my arm is.
We need to measure. Now, weren't you telling me this, like, is it fold under and gets hemmed? So this ribbing will actually fold in and she'll hem it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Isn't that cute? I really like how this looks.
So that makes it 2 inches shorter.
So is that 19 inches include, is it before it folds or after? I don't know either. So wait, where's the chevron? Because doesn't the chevron go on top? Yeah.
You're twisting it.
There you go. Wow, you have an awesome wrist cuff.
I know! I'm super John the Amazing.
With connected yarn. Alright, so let me show you what's on my needles. I have a couple of things. I've got 4 balls of yarn connected to this. Oops, the show notes just turned off. Yeah. So I'm still working on my baby blanket design. I'm not going to unfold it all the way.
Wow.
But it's got 12 colors in it. I finished square 25 of 36 last night. However, I'm about to run out of this
lovely denim blue color.
Vintage teal color.
Denim blue.
I'm gonna knit until I run out of it, but I'm not gonna have enough to finish that square. So I'm gonna have to get some this weekend.
Yes.
I'm doing this
when we do other things.
I'm doing this on US 5s, 3.75 millimeters. And if you really want to know all the yarns, go to the project page because there's 12 of them. And I'm not going to name them all to you. And then the other thing on my needles, this is the There and Back Again socks.
Are they Hobbit?
Kind of, maybe. No, not really. By Dawn Hansen. And I had a bit of a knitting fail during our trip.
In which we commiserate.
Yes, it's kind of the week of knitting fails.
Yeah, that's what we need to call it, in which we commiserate.
That's a good idea. So, I'm doing this in Knit Picks Comfy Fingering Weight in the Bison. Oops. Bison is the brown, and the pink is Peony colorways.
The pink is actually more pink if you look at it in person.
Yes.
There, it just looks like a sort of orange.
Okay, so I was knitting away on this. When I knit socks, my normal stitch count is 64 stitches. I wear a size like 8.5, 9 women's shoe. So I'm like knitting. This is what I took on our trip this weekend because I didn't want to take the blanket because I would have to take 12 different colors of yarn, and it was just, we had our car loaded with stuff, and I just didn't want to do it. So I took the socks. So I'm knitting on them, and I knit toe up so that I can try them on. Well, I just didn't even try them on while I was knitting and got really close to the heel and tried them on, and they were so tight.
Because of all of the color work.
Because of the color work. Because I guess I'm a tighter knitter when I do color work. So I ripped them back to the end of the toe increases, increased by 8 stitches, so I'm up to 72 stitches now, and started again. So this is how far I have gotten since then.
Have you tried them on?
I have tried them on. They fit much better.
Just don't knit so tight.
So I am about halfway through this first pattern, because it does that pattern on this end, and then it's going to be solid brown in the middle, and then it'll do this in reverse, back up to pink for the cuffs. So that was my knitting fail, but I'm getting back there, and that's what's on my needles.
You're getting there and back again.
I'm getting there and back again. I'm going to get back to where I was again. It makes me want to sing that song that I can't think of the name of.
What?
That we're back from outer space.
It's by Gloria Gaynor, I think. I know it. I will survive.
I will survive. There we go. I will survive the socks and the broken needle. All right, that's what...
Hey, the broken needle's my problem.
Until I need the size 4 needle again to knit
When
something.
will you need the size 4 needle?
I don't know. Not today. All right, that's what's on our needles. On to the next segment. That was my stomach that just growled. It's not even dinner time yet. Speaking of food, you like my segue? Into my favorite part of our show, yummies, that are not always food related. In fact, I don't think any of them are food related this week. But they are some of like our favorite things or things that made us happy this week, etc. So I want to start with talking about my sock pattern. Sorry, that kind of, oops, I don't know if it's going to show. Wait, that almost
Move
did.
it back into the camera. It gets bright, but then the brightness goes away.
Okay, so that's my Rescue Me Chin Boy and Show Me the Stars socks. And my giveaways thingy debobbers ended, where the buy one, gift one ended. And I had quite a few people take advantage of that, so thank you. Thank you to those of you who are still buying the pattern. Makes me happy. But I said that today I would announce the winners of the, I guess, refund contest. So
the refund contest.
For every 10 people who purchased the pattern, I did a random number generator, and one person will get the pattern for free, i.e. I will refund their money back to them. So I have not refunded it back yet because I wanted to record first, but I will do that today and we'll send them messages. So we have 3 winners. Their Ravelry usernames are Paula, Colleen3, and Fluzz. So congratulations to Paula, Colleen3, and Fluzz for winning the refund contest. I will be sending you a PM and also refunding your purchase price back to you on PayPal.
Confetti! It's a parade!
Woo! The pattern's still available for purchase, so if you want to...
It's always available for purchase.
If you want to knit some Doctor Who inspired socks while you watch Doctor Who, Rescue Me Chin Boy and Show Me the Stars Doctor Who inspired socks. Or if you don't like Doctor Who at all and just want some cool socks that have stars on them, Show Me the Stars. Alright. Next, I got some mail this week.
She got some mail.
This is one of my favorite companies out there. And I was out almost of the product, so I had to order some more. This is done by a woman in Sandia Park, New Mexico. And this brand is called Happy Hands. And it's shea butter, sunflower, and aloe hand cream for knitters. And she has a gazillion scents. Not really a gazillion, but a lot. And it's made where it will soak in really quickly so that it does not rub off on your yarn. So, I ordered my favorite scent, Hippie Chick. It smells so good. And then I ordered a little 3-pack of small, like, purse-size bottles. 2 of them are for a gift for someone. So I got a Hippie Chick And I got a spicy pumpkin, which is so good too. It's like my favorite fall scent. It smells so good. I love pumpkin. If you missed my whole pumpkin diatribe back in the fall.
It's a diatribe.
Ranting. Not really ranting though, but like telling you how much I love pumpkin over and over and over and over and over and over again. I love pumpkin. So I did that. So the hippie chick and the spicy pumpkin are for someone. And then I ordered me a cupcake to try, and it smells so good. Open. There we go. I couldn't get my finger underneath it. Smells like we're baking cupcakes.
I'm hot.
Yummy. And then she sent me a sample of the mandarin clove. So, if you're looking for some lotion, I will put a link to her in the show notes. It's yummy. I highly recommend it. Love, love, love it. Alright, what else? I have been participating in a photo challenge on Instagram. If you're looking for me on Instagram, I'm CC_Almond.
Like the nut without the D.
Yeah, ALMON. Link at the end of the podcast, and also in the show notes and everything. So I'm doing it with
people.
Fat Mum Slim is her name. And so there's a thing every day. So like yesterday was tiny, so I did a picture of stitch markers because they're so tiny and they're waiting for a project. Today's is a place, so I will do that. But there's quite a few knitters on Instagram that are also doing this, and there's quite a few knitters also on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram and haven't friend me, and if you're doing this, let me know, because it's fun and I like it, and so I would love to see your pictures. You want to talk about our weekend a little bit?
We went to Carlsbad, New Mexico for an early morning Friday road trip.
Yes.
And we spent time with our family.
Yeah. So the car was like packed to capacity.
And we squished like a little anchovy.
Yeah. Because we were taking stuff to my parents for them to store for us while we're in Scotland. But we also took some stuff to them to give to them. So on the ride back, we had much more elbow room. Because there was hardly anything left in the car at that point. So, I'm going to insert some pictures and videos here. I'm going to tell you what they are, though, first. The first video is of my niece, Lola, who is 4, Damaris's cousin. She and my sister, Carrie, sang at church on Sunday while we were there, and Damaris recorded it for me. And then, so I just put a little clip of her singing, but she's so adorable, and she loves to dance, and she just could not keep her feet still, and it just made me laugh so hard. She did so good. We were so proud of her. And then there's a little clip of my nephew Wyatt, who is 16 months old now, almost.
Yes.
He was born in December. And he apparently is going to be a musician when he grows up, a drummer. He would drum on everything all weekend long. So we were having lunch on Sunday, and we gave him 2 plastic spoons, and he played us a song on the high chair tray, and it was really cute, and he was so proud of himself.
If you don't think he's precious, you need to get out.
He's adorable. So there's going to be a video of that. It's just short. These are just short little clips. And then I also put in 3 photos. One photo is, I can't remember what order they're in, but you'll be able to tell. One photo is of my dad and my brother-in-law, JR. My dad, Gary. My brother-in-law, JR, and my nephew, Wyatt. All 3 wearing hats. I knit them. The Dallas Cowboy hat that I've showed y'all that has the star on it was my dad's birthday present, and the Texas flag hat was my brother-in-law's birthday present, and then the hat that Wyatt's wearing I had made for him for Valentine's Day, but we took their picture. And then there's a picture of Damaris and me, and my mom, Becky, and my sister, Carrie, and my niece, Lola, all wearing the Camden caps that I knit us. So they're all different, but they're all the same pattern, just different colors. So we took a picture of the 5 of us wearing our Camden caps. And then Wyatt thought it was hysterical to have my mom's Camden cap on and play peekaboo with it. He would pull it down over his face and then throw it back and peekaboo. But he looks like, what did I say? I
don't know.
It's like, because it's so big on him, like one of those hats that the Jamaican guys sometimes wear that have the big poof in the back, because it's so big on him. It fits my mom fine, but him being so little, it's just like this big poof on him, and it's so adorable. So, cutting here for a second to show you those clips and the pictures, and we'll be right back.
He's still working on me to make me what he ought to be. Took just a week to make the moon and the stars. He saw that Earth and Jupiter and Mars. How lovely and precious he must be. He's still working on me.
That face crunch is right.
And we're back. Weren't those adorable? Weren't they?
Yes.
Sorry. Proud auntie. Okay. We wanted to talk about...
I know. We need to do a spoiler warning.
Spoiler
Warning for the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who and for Sherlock Series 3.
So if you don't want to know, you're going to want to fast forward. Because I think this is all we have left in this segment. So if you don't want to know, fast forward to the next segment. Are you gone?
If you're not still gone, go. Just go.
Okay, so the rest of you who stayed don't mind being spoiled.
We're just checking. Okay.
Okay. Are you sure? Okay, here we go.
Okay. Yesterday.
All my troubles seem so far away.
I believe in Chick-fil-A. That's not how that either song goes.
Okay. Yesterday.
Yesterday, Doctor Who people were filming in Trafalgar Square, specifically Matt Smith, Jenna Louise Coleman, and Gemma Redgrave. If you don't know who Gemma Redgrave is, that's Kate Stewart, but you should know who the other 2 people are.
Wait, wasn't also the lady wearing the Doctor Who scarf?
Yeah, her name is Ingrid Oliver, but I don't know who she is.
We don't know who she is. But she was wearing was that the 4th Doctor?
Mm-hmm.
The 4th Doctor, Doctor Who scarf, the big long one.
What?
Yeah. So we don't know.
They were filming in Trafalgar Square yesterday.
With the TARDIS.
With the TARDIS, yes. They had the TARDIS dangling from the screen thing. And they had their stunt doubles. Matt Smith's stunt double was, like, hanging from the bottom of it. And I think it was Jenna's stunt double. Jenna's stunt double was in the inside, looking out. And in a video that the Doctor Who Twitter posted, I was like, I'm trying to convince them to let me go up, but they won't let me.
But then they did.
Yes, they let Matt Smith, hang from the bottom of the TARDIS. The bottom of the TARDIS. Without a harness.
I hear an echo in here.
6 stories high. 6 stories high.
Is there like a video or is it a photo?
There are multiple photos. He's just hanging from the bottom going through. It's like, wee.
Okay, so we need to put a link to that in the show notes. So
Okay,
people can see it if they want to see it.
I'll find them again.
We can't wait for the 50th anniversary. It's going to be so exciting! It's good. They're going to do it in theaters in 3D, and so we're debating whether we're going to be able to go to theater because it messes with my eyes and my head. I have migraine problems, so I don't know. The last time I did something in 3D, it wasn't pleasant, but it might be worth it. So we'll decide. But it's also going to be on TV.
TV. And we'll get to watch it live, because we'll be in Scotland.
Okay, also, Sherlock.
Also, Setlock.
Series 3.
Series 3. Okay, the Sherlock crew was filming on North Gower Street today. You know what North Gower Street is, right? It's where they film exteriors for 221B. Oh. And Arwell Jones, set. There are two things of photos I want to talk about.
Okay.
Arwell Jones, the set designer guy, who's a perfect human being and has been posting pictures for us. Thank you. Perfect human being. Posted what he calls random fandom, and it was a picture. There were tons of fans lined up on one side of North Gower Street, held back by some police and stuff. I mean, there were tons of them.
Are we a little jealous?
Yes, we are a little jealous.
Okay, what about the other pictures?
Okay, and then we saw some from right outside the door they used for 221B, and it was Benedict and Martin in costume. No, hold on. And Martin was just like, I'm too cool. I'm too cool to be all smiley and stuff, so whatever. And Benedict was like, yeah, it's so exciting, yeah.
And he was wearing?
And he was wearing the Deerstalker.
Squeak! Don't hit the camera. And we found out episode 2.
Yes. More Sherlock spoilers. Episode 2 of Series 3 is going to be called The Sign... I forget whether it's The Sign of the Three or The Sign of Three. But it's going to be written by Steve Thompson. Yay.
Alright. That was all our spoilerly goodness.
Spoilerly.
Yummy! Alright. On to the next segment.
Now it's time to talk about what we're reading and watching.
Ba-da-da! What are we reading?
We are both reading The Return of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Which story are you on?
I'm on the second to last one.
Oh, wow. She's way ahead of me.
I don't remember what it's called.
I just read the
Dancing Men.
The Dancing Men story last night. So, we're reading through all of it. All of his books and short stories. We also finished... Well, I had already finished reading this last week, but Damaris finished it. Okay, hold on.
Would you like me to hold that up? Would you like me to hold
I got it. The Doctor Who, The Angel's Kiss, a Melody Malone mystery, which was a tie... My battery's getting low. That was a tie-in to The Angels Take Manhattan. So we finished that one. And we also read, this week...
Summer Falls by Amelia Williams, and...
which was a tie-in to...
well, it was a sort of tie-in to
to
Bells of
Bells of
St.
St. John. So we read those this week, and they were good.
That one made me cry.
It did. It was a good one. A really good one. But I saw major tie-ins to Sherlock.
I told you about the major tie-ins to Sherlock.
Yes, but I saw them.
Like Woman, Hound, and Fall.
All right.
Oh, not the same kind of fall.
No.
It's
different.
more of a metaphorical fall.
Yes.
Not really fall at all. More of winter.
So if you're interested, there's links in the show notes. They're both Kindle books. They weren't very expensive, a couple bucks a piece, I think, if you want to read them.
We're gonna read all of the tie-in books.
Oh, there's a ton of tie-in books.
No, I mean the tie-in books, not the novels.
Oh, okay.
The tie-in
Gotcha.
books. Although
Gotcha.
I do want to read some of the novels. And I also want to watch some classic Who. Okay, going on to TV.
TV time. All right. Here we go. Arrow, episode 1.19, Unfinished Business.
This is not my business. I didn't watch Arrow.
No, you did not. So it was another Vertigo-centered episode, but it was not the Count this time. Who was from... What show is he from? The guy that played the Count.
Are you talking about David Anders? Because I don't know who you're talking about. I just know David Anders was in an episode of it.
I don't know. My brain's not working very well today. He's in something else. I can't remember what.
Was he in Alias?
No, it wasn't Alias. No, it's not him.
Was he Whitmore?
No. This is a younger guy.
Was he...
Dang it.
Oh, he's that guy from Fringe.
That's it. He's from Fringe. Thank you. This was his second time to be in the
This is
show.
how we think. Like,
I thought I was going to have to without IMDb.
Is he that guy? No, he's not that guy. Is he this guy?
Okay,
No.
so, but this time it wasn't the Count, it was the Count's doctor and an orderly who were making Vertigo, and they were making even worse Vertigo, and it was killing people. And then, so there was that whole... the big part of it that really kind of had my attention was the relationship issues again, because Oliver and Tommy got in a fight about Oliver being Green Arrow and him, how he's interacting with Tommy, and that he doesn't think that Oliver trusts him, and so he quit his job, and then, oh my gosh, he went to Barrowman. He went to Barrowman, who is his father. Sorry, I'm making my hair crazy.
But not his actual father.
No. He went to Barrowman to ask for a job, and they hugged, and the look in Barrowman's eyes.
It was like this.
Oh. It was like, no, Tommy, no!
His heart
What are
is
you doing?
black, like his soul.
And Oliver's gonna help Diggle to find the guy who killed his brother. So, that's good. But still, Tommy, why did you do it? The next episode is not tonight. It is. I know. It's not till the 24th, which is a few weeks. A couple weeks from today. Episode 1.20, Home Invasion. Alright, would you like to talk about Psych episode 7.6, Cirque du Soleil? Mm-hmm. Which actually did have something to do with Cirque de... however you say it.
Soleil?
Yes.
Soleil.
Soleil, that's it.
Soleil?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Well, all of these are your notes.
I thought they were your notes.
No, these are your notes.
Oh, what did I write? I don't remember.
You wrote snorting laughter at Lassie. Oh, that's how you spell Marlowe.
I spelled Marlowe's name wrong.
Snorting laughter at Lassie and Marlowe making Sean and Jules uncomfortable in their own home.
With the whole shower and bath scenes.
Yes. And oh my gosh, Lassie is engaged.
He's getting married this week.
And Jules setting Woody and Ursula up.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. And Woody brought her this massive bouquet of flowers right after Lassie had brought her just this little bitty bouquet of flowers to thank her. And then Woody brings this massive. It was so funny.
And Sean calling Rachel to get Gus, Rachel, and Max back together.
Yes, because he had caused them to get broken up. What's the episode called tonight?
7.7.
D's
nuts?
Yes, nuptials. That's what it's short for. That's what I think is what they're referring to.
Oh,
D-E-E-Z, D's nups, N-U-P-S. Because they're getting married, nuptials.
these are your business.
Yes. So then now we are back. And that's on tonight. The next Psych. We're going to watch it. Although you won't watch it till tomorrow. But we'll watch it. Okay. Person of Interest. Episode 2.19, Trojan Horse. this was like the major HR-centered episode. And Carter's love interest, Detective Beecher, was murdered by HR. The guy who runs HR was Beecher's godfather. I just couldn't believe it. It was really funny to watch Harold be undercover at the technology company because he knew all the right things to say. So, like, this guy was, like, questioning him on something, and he starts just, and I'm like, okay, I have no clue what that means, but the guy was impressed. So, but there was a tie-in with the technology company and spies, but there's also a connection with the guy who is trying to hunt down the machine. So, I'm wondering how they're going to bring it together. But I was really sad that Beecher got killed. That's just not right. Next episode is not tomorrow. It is the 18th, episode 2.20, In Extremis.
It might be Latin.
I think it is. Alright, now we want to talk about Elementary, episode 1.19, Snow Angels.
Gimme.
Wee-oo.
Okay, no. You can't do that yet.
They don't know what I mean.
Can I open this?
Sure. Are you going to make it bright and show them?
Isn't your computer already super bright?
No.
Okay. So, one of the major things. Ambi-Clyde!
It was so adorable.
My face is really shiny.
I know,
now.
it's the light. So show
And-
them the picture and we'll turn the light.
And the lovely Gio the Bio, who is one of the most famous Sherlock fan artists on Tumblr, drew this lovely thing. Isn't that adorable?
Wee-oo, wee-oo. It's actually the background on my computer now. Let's turn the brightness down. So, like, Sherlock was trying to solve this mystery, and so he, like, set up on the floor a map, and he had, like, padlocks for, like, police blockades, and he used Clyde as an ambulance with a red cross on his back.
He put tape on his back.
And so it was adorable. And so now Damaris wants to
Knit a Clyde!
an Ambi-Clyde.
Well, actually, I want to knit a regular Clyde in.
An Ambi-Clyde.
Yes. Okay.
It was adorable.
Oh, Miss Hudson, I like you. Blah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open this and I'm gonna say what it says. Watson, don't feel bad. Let me explain you a thing. And this is posted by someone on Tumblr. It said, "Is no one going to talk about the way Sherlock grabs Joan's arm when she's upset and wants him to explain his deductions? Watson, my precious, let me show you. Watson, don't feel bad. Let me explain you a thing. Watson, what strong biceps you have." Yes.
Somebody's majorly shipping them.
Actually, they're her bro TP. They're like her best friends forever TP. It's like an OTP, but not. OTP is one true pairing, although we substitute the O for an I, which stands for infinity, although we don't say ITP, we say OTP. Even though we have like tons of OTPs.
Are y'all totally lost, just like me?
A bro
Okay, glad.
TP is like an OTP, except they're friends!
So it was a good episode.
Yes, okay.
And the next
Here, you do a thing.
The next episode's on the 25th, episode 1.20, Dead Man's Switch.
Apparently it's gonna be a 3-episode arc.
Yeah. I think it's getting better week by week. I mean, we enjoyed it even from the get-go. You know,
I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I really like it.
Yeah, we knew it was not going to be BBC Sherlock, but we liked it. But every week it just gets better and better and better.
Also, Sherlock's, when he's in Joan's room and Joan's trying to change and he's just rambling on, they did all that in one take.
That was funny.
Yeah.
All right, we still have 3 more shows to talk about. Revolution, episode 1.13, the song remains the same. So we got some major information this week that the cause of the blackout are these tiny computer molecule virus things in the air that had two things they could do. They can either absorb electricity or they can replicate. Well, they replicated out of control. Something happened at the tower. They replicated out of control, and that's what made the power go out. So there was a lot in this episode about Tom Neville and his son Jason, and Tom's now scared that Monroe is going to think he conspired with the rebels, and so he and his wife are like leaving. Jason has joined the rebels. Best line of the whole episode.
Where can I say it?
Let me say the first part, and then you say the question.
Okay.
I'm going to bash your little boy band face in.
Miles said that, and then Miles walks away. And Jason's just like, what's a boy band?
And I totally knew they were going to say that.
I did
was
too.
like,
I
as
was
soon as
just
you
like,
said boy band, I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to say, what's a boy band? That was so
because
funny.
they were.
So Randall got a nuclear bomb, so that's going to kind of tie in with what's coming up. But Rachel and Aaron have left and are going to the tower, not expecting to survive, to try to see if they can turn the power back on. I have more notes, but it's just so much. Anyway, episode 1.14, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, is going to be on Monday night. NCIS, episode 10.20, Chasing Ghosts. This was all a whole lot of tie-in with the whole thing with Ziva and Vance, and Ziva's dad dying, and Vance's wife dying, and Tony knew something was up, but he couldn't figure out what was going on with Ziva.
We know he knew something was up because he was clicking his pin repeatedly.
Yeah.
And Mickey's just like, for the love of God, put that pin down before I stab you with it.
Ziva and McGee were working together and didn't tell Tony and Gibbs.
With
But,
Thai food.
yes. Gibbs and Vance knew, though, even though they didn't tell her they knew. And Tony, with Abby's help, tracked down Ziva and figured out what they were doing. And Gibbs and Vance gave the okay and sent Ziva and Tony to go find the man who killed her father and Vance's wife. So I'm thinking that's where the next episode's going to go. The other fun part, okay, this was not like a fun part. I really
She's like, oh, I'm precious.
yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Palmer stood up to Ducky and was like, I'm going to be more involved in the profiling stuff. You can't keep sending me away. Da, da, da. So
Yeah,
that was really
at first
cool.
he's just like, okay. He's just like, okay, and then he walks out. And then he walks again.
Walks
It's just
back
like,
I was like, the funny part was, okay, so Abby in the basement of NCIS
their basement / garage /
Yes.
whatever they want it to be.
had like the crime scene, like a model of it kind of built, and she had it set up to where like these cones and this tape were for a counter, and she got mad at Gibbs because he kept trying to walk through the fake counter, and it made me laugh. That was funny. Next
It's like,
episode.
Gibbs, you're not a ghost.
No. Next episode is the 23rd of April. Episode 10.21, Berlin, which I'm fairly certain is going to go get us back to,
Isn't that in Germany?
yes.
They said that the guy was in Rome.
But I think they're going to go from Rome to Germany. So, now we are ready to talk about Doctor Who episode 7.8, The Rings of Akadan.
10, yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay, so the episode started out, oh my stars, with Kara's mother and father, Ellie, and according to the credits, her father's name is Dave, meeting.
And I knew from the get-go, as soon as the leaves in the tree started, like, rustling in the wind, I was like, oh, and we saw this guy, and I was like, it's gonna be her mom and dad! I knew it. Okay.
And then this 80s car that almost runs into him looks kind of like the same car that ran into Rose's dad, Pete, in Father's Day. But we're just like, is this on purpose, or or is the BBC working with its limited prop department again?
Yeah, so I'm interested to see if there's a connection there, because there are some theories about connections with Rose with Clara.
Yeah, the Bad Wolf one is my favorite.
Yes. All right.
And also, 101 Places to See was Ellie's before it was Clara's.
Yes. Oh, that was so precious.
And Time's not made of strawberries, because that would be unacceptable. And there was a Classic Who reference, which made me happy. And even though I haven't seen much of Classic Who, I knew enough to get this reference. The Doctor referenced Susan, which still is, will be his granddaughter. And she was in the first Doctor stories.
Yes.
And he says that he came to Akaten before...
With his granddaughter.
With his granddaughter, yes. And the TARDIS isn't translating for Clara. And Clara says, I don't think it likes me. And I'm just like, she's a she! Not an it.
Yeah, but it was, we talked about it a little bit, as after we watched it the first time, that it seems like that the TARDIS is like going back and forth between whether she likes Clara or not. So she's translating for her sometimes, but not translating other times. And
I saw a thing on the Doctor Who board on Ravelry. There's a trope called the Rule of Funny, where I'm not really sure how to explain it, but things that would normally happen, like the TARDIS translating for someone, don't actually happen because it makes it funnier, or because it's a part of the episode. Like, in Smith and Jones, the TARDIS didn't translate the Jadoon speaking, and I think in this episode they didn't have it translating because they wanted to incorporate all the alien languages and stuff.
that's possible. That's quite possible.
The Vigil are creepy.
I know.
Because
They
of
were
their...
kinda-
Because of their... Is it breathy or breathy?
breathy.
Breathy, because of their breathy voice.
Yes, they were really creepy.
And, Clara's so good with kids. I'm just...
Which is like a continuation, because in the Snowmen, she was the governess. In Asylum,
She was the junior entertainment manager.
And then in Bells of St. John, she was a nanny. And now this episode, she was with the Queen of
Years.
Mary. So there's like a connection to children in every episode.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
When I finish reading all these notes, I'll tell you about the Clara's Doctor Who theory.
Okay, next.
Okay, 10 million squillion times a second.
That was funny. And Damaris looked up squillion because the Hubs was like,
That's not a
"That's
word.
not a word." That's what he does. Always he's like, "That's not a word." And I was
Just
like,
like, it
is
is
a
a
word.
word.
And so Damaris looked it up, and it really isn't the dictionary.
It means a very large number.
Yes, squillion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And also, I saw a GIF set, the Doctor, and the astonishingly heavy door.
That was so funny.
Of this astonishingly heavy door.
With the screwdriver, that was really funny.
Okay, 2 lines that sent me back to the Tennant era. The Doctor said, "Song's over," to this guy who just kept singing because he didn't want the old god to wake up. And the guy who kept singing said, "The song is over." And I was just like, I was expecting that guy to say, "But the story never ends."
Yeah.
But he didn't. And then the Doctor quoted Jabberwocky, which made me ridiculously happy.
Oh gosh, that made me laugh so hard.
Shoes and chips and sealing wax, cabbages and kings.
And then there was the other.
And another throwback to Tennant era, he's talking about how when we're holding on to something precious, we run and we run until we are out from under the shadow, which made me think of Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead, because that involve the Vashta Nerada, which are basically living carnivorous shadows.
Yes.
And rivers trapped inside of Cal.
And there's also the connection with that theory of possibly Clara and Cal.
Yeah, but we've seen little Clara, and at least one of the Claras was the same age as Cal, and she didn't look the same.
I don't know.
Okay. And the songs in this episode were
They were so
amazing.
pretty. Yeah, the music
And-
was amazing in this episode.
And the part of Mary's song "Rest Now, My Boy," I'm just like, are you talking about the doctor? Okay. And then, Doctor's excellent
Soliloquy.
soliloquy.
Oh my gosh, it made me cry.
And Matt himself was actually crying. The Rings of Akaton, more like Matt Smith crying while shouting to a green screen.
Oh my gosh, he was that tear just running down his face, and I was like,
I'm crying now just thinking about it. Okay. And the one thing that irked me about this episode was that the leaf changed species.
yes.
In the first episode, it was maple, and according to someone on the Doctor Who board on Ravelry, it changed to aspen. And BBC, they have 5 actors, a very limited prop department, yet an infinity of leaves.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what else you got?
Okay, and infinity is too much. Be quiet!
That was your B-Ma emailing me.
Be quiet!
Hi, Mama.
And Clara, at the end, I'm not going to compete with a ghost. Claire's just like, whoever she was, I'm not the same woman. And the Doctor's just like, so, if Neil Cross can keep his episodes at the level of the Doctor's soliloquy and Clara's monologue, he might just become my new favorite writer.
It was an amazing episode. It was really good. So the next episode is Cold War,
Written by Marcus.
which will be on Saturday.
Right,
And I-
quickly, the Clara's Doctor Who theory.
Oh, yes.
Some people are saying how dates and certain things about all incarnations of Clara are similar to the entirety of Doctor Who, and people are thinking that Clara is a character within a program representing the program, which is one of 2 theories I like. And the thing about the kids, Doctor Who was originally written for a younger viewing audience.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that's kind of why Clara's so good with kids.
Interesting. All right, that's our loads of TV for this week. On to the next segment. All right, so let's have a little bit of a check-in on our April UFO cowl, which knit, crochet, weave, whatever. It started on April 1st and it will end on April 30th. And your project, your UFO, had to have been started by midnight Central Standard Time on March the 31st. So, and then it needs to be completed this month. So we had 5 more people complete UFOs and share a photo this week. First up is C.L. Hampton, who is Claire, who finished her Pull Me Over sweater. Next up is L. McCall. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your username. It's Linda, who finished the Little Colonnade shawl. Next up is Yarn Goes On, who is Lisa Marie, who finished her Misty Meadow Mystery Cow shawl. Then we have May G, who is Gloria, who finished her Foo Foo socks. I like that name. Foo Foo socks. Yay! And finally, we have Knits Insanity, who is Catherine, who finished her Catching Butterflies Fingerless Gloves. So way to go to all of y'all. That's 6 finished projects now. And you still have plenty of time, because today is just the 10th. So you still have 2/3 of the month
You have 20 days.
to finish your UFOs. So knit up, and then share the photo with us. And you might be the winner. All right, and that is it for this week's episode. We have a few things to finish up with, though. We had talked last week about doing a Geeky Girls Knit VKN virtual knit night. I can't talk. And we had some polls up on the Ravelry group, and the consensus that came out of all those polls was to do it on a Friday night. So we're going to have our first Geeky Girls Knit VKN this Friday night, the 12th of April, at 6 p.m. Central Time. So that will be like 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific. So if you're interested in participating, you need to watch Plurk and Twitter and the Ravelry group, because I will post the link there once I start the VKN. And we would love to have you, so come join us for the VKN. We'd like to say a quick thank you to Dragonfly Soars podcast and the Wolf Farms podcast for their shout-outs this week on their podcasts. We appreciate you and love you. Thank you to those of you who have rated us on iTunes, whether it was a star rating or a review. We appreciate you. Tell them where to find us.
Everywhere. We're on iTunes and Blip and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, and we're just basically everywhere. We have links to everything at the end of the podcast and in the show notes.
Where are the show notes at?
geekygirlsknit.blogspot.com.
All right, and we hope y'all have a wonderful week, and let us hear from you. Let us know what you think of the episode. We hope to see some of y'all at the VKN this Friday night, and if not, we'll see you next week. Happy knitting.